everyone, this is Peak Entertainment and we're back again, and here now we have another video of you. I'm just going to give some quick thoughts and feelings on the 2026 Oscar Awards that took place recently on Sunday the 15th of March 2026, and just go over the big headlines, who were amongst the biggest winners and some of the snubs and expectations, and what, if possible, could they have in terms of implications going forward for the next couple of months and couple of years. So overall, in terms of the night, it was a great night for Paul Thomas Anderson, the director, whose movie One Battle After Another was overall the biggest winner, I would say, gaining 6 awards on the night. This included Best Picture and Directing, Adapted Screenplay, and also the Best Supporting Actor for Sean Penn, Film Editing, and also the recently brand new Best Casting Award. And in many ways, it was a straight out shootout between One Battle After Another and also the horror movie Sinners, directed by Ryan Coogler. Going into the events, there was major hype as to whether Sinners, which had one of the most record nominations of the night, would go on to be overall the biggest winner, but it turned out to be Paul Thomas Anderson's movie that really gained the major share of the awards. Now, having said that, Sinners didn't come away empty-handed. It won overall, I believe, 3 awards. This included the Best Screenplay, Best Cinematography, and also the most stand-up one, which was the award for Best Actor, which went to Michael B. Jordan. And in many ways, I was very happy for this because I've always felt that Michael B. Jordan has had huge potential. He can, when he's on, be a very intense and very charismatic screen presence. In other categories, actress Jessie Buckley won the Best Actress role for the movie Hamnet. Amy Madigan came away with the Best Supporting Actress for the very successful horror movie Weapons. There was an emotional win for the writers of the K-pop Demon Hunters smash hit Golden, which garnered the award for Best Original Song. The film also won the category for Best Animated Movie. Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein had several awards in the technical aspects, including Best Costume Design, Production Design, Makeup, and also Hairstyling. And as to be expected in many ways, Avatar: Fire and Ash took home the award for Best Visual Effects. And even the blockbuster racing film F1 managed to gain an award for Best Sound. So overall, in terms of an event, I think it was largely uneventful or impactful in many ways. No major controversies really to speak of here. But in terms of the awards itself, now I'm going to say something very divisive here, but in terms of the One Battle After Another, I really don't think that this was a movie that deserved to win. In fact, nearly all of the films that were nominated didn't really leave much of an impression on me. In terms of the contest between both One Battle After Another and Sinners, for me, both of them were very bad movies, at times very incoherent, but I think what failed both of them was the fact that they had these interesting ideas and concepts, but they weren't really executed in a way that I think they should have been. One Battle After Another had several themes regarding interracial relationships, political agendas, white supremacy, relationships between the father and the daughter. And yes, in terms of the broad strokes, they were there on screen, but I felt overall the movie was a mishmash. It was trying to be this kind of more satirical look at certain themes, but it also wanted to be this fast-paced crime caper, and I just don't think the tone of it was very right. It most definitely wasn't amongst Paul Thomas Anderson's best movie. I still believe that title goes to Boogie Nights, which goes way back to 1997, and I still believe the director hasn't matched the quality of that film. Yes, the film certainly looked fine on the big screen, and all of the performances from the competent cast were fine enough. But I do have to say that Sean Penn's win for Best Supporting Actor, again, I felt wasn't warranted. Sean Penn is a very strong, competent actor. He does have we could say, very accomplished career. He already has 2 Oscars in the bag, one for Mystic River, directed by Clint Eastwood, and also the other for Milk. But his performance here for One Battle for Another, I just feel was really undeserved. It's very much more of a caricature, many ways symbolic of the film itself, where it's aiming for something that doesn't quite get there. I felt the character that he played, he was the Marine officer who was hunting down Leonardo DiCaprio's partner, sexually obsessed with her, and then later on down the line, he was trying to basically wrap up loose ends as he wanted to become a full member of the white supremacy group. And his character really felt more like a cartoonish villain rather than a serious antagonist. So I really don't believe that he deserved the award for Best Supporting Actor. More to do with the fact how the character was written rather than the actual performance itself. I will also reflect the fact that Michael B. Jordan, whilst I've complimented him, his performance in Sinners also, for me, wasn't Oscar worthy enough. It was fine. It was more Michael B. Jordan be his typical own screen charisma, the very swagger, confident, kind of angry, confident man. But I don't think the role or the roles that he played two characters overall in Sinners, really garnered enough weight in terms of the character itself. There was some discussion around the fact that Timothy Chalamet didn't win for his performance in Marty Supreme, and I've always found it curious as to why Timothy Chalamet, who, yes, I understand is a popular actor, but why does it have to be that any time he portrays any type of serious role, he automatically has to be in consideration for an Oscar? I really don't get it. I just found his performance in Mighty Supreme to be very limp. That movie, as with all of the movies nowadays, was overly long, very lightweight in what it was trying to say. Again, it was a 90 movie that was branched out to over 2.5 hours. So I didn't really get the kind of outrage or the controversy, if you like, as to why he felt that he should have garnered the Best Actor award. The major headlines that went on with this year's Oscars, as I mentioned before, it was an award ceremony that went largely without any real incident or controversy. And I think that's overall a good thing. We should be talking about the winners and the losers rather than any particular PR stunts or controversial incidents. But at the same time, I think it highlights once more that the movies that are deemed the best of the year really have little to no impact culturally or commercially. One battle after another wasn't really a box office success. I think it garnered just over 204 million of a budget that was well over 100 million. And if we look at the recent movies that have won, we have one battle after another. This year, we had last year's Honora, we had Oppenheimer from 2023, and then we had Everywhere, Everything All at Once from 2022. In my personal opinion, all four films were bad. They had major issues in terms of their storytelling and their length and also their editing. And I really think standards have dropped now. This has been a major issue, not only for the past 4 to 5 years, but maybe even the 7 to 8 to 9 years, where we have in these films. Okay, maybe Oppenheimer aside, because that was a Christopher Nolan movie. It did go on to gross close to $1 billion at the box office. But I just think these movies nowadays, they just don't have any resonance, any real lasting discussion. And they don't necessarily have to be the biggest box office hit of the year. But certainly when you go back into the 80s and the 90s, even if a film wasn't a massive box office success, it always left a big lasting impression that people will talk about for many months and years post its release, and we're just not getting that now. And maybe that's more a sign of the movie industry and culturally now, where people are indeed not going to cinemas as much. Maybe these movies by design are not the most audience friendly, the most four quadrant friendly. They do tend to be overblown and bloated, as I said before, and very divisive in overall appeal. And it really is down to the writers and the directors themselves to come up with more compelling stories, more appealing stories. Now, I'm not saying these have to be your generic summer blockbusters, no, but at the same time, we do have to see a much more raising of the standards in terms of movie making and quality overall. And I think at this time, and certainly for the last 5 to 6 years, the Oscar awards and the films that they are selecting for the best movies of the year are nowhere near reflective of what I would deem to be a great movie or a best movie of the year overall. So here's my thoughts and feelings on the Oscars in terms of 2026. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you have any other further movies, television series, or any other topics with the pop entertainment and culture scene that you'd like to see me cover within this channel, then also let me know in the comments, and I'll see if I can provide further commentary for you on that subject matter within the future. Please also hit like the subscription and notification buttons so I can provide you with more high quality content like this in the future. But that's it for now. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you very, very soon.